Welcome to Tarot Q&A Tuesday. Here we go again, answering your questions with the tarot, tapping into your subconscious and getting a bit of wisdom from the cosmic land. Today I'm going to start with the girls that have chimed in first on Zoom. We will begin with Linda today. Linda has asked a question about her business. Like any journey in life, business, love, health, or just life in general, of course we have all these highs and lows and twists and turns, and it kind of feels like that's what you're going through at the moment, Linda. It's really not so much a bad thing as it is a life challenge. And sometimes people say to me, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me. Why is this happening to me? I go, because you're human. And basically our journey is all about these adventures, or otherwise known as challenges or hard stuff. Just let all these other people in the room. And you know, when we look at life like that, it's so much more positive and favorable because we see it as an opportunity rather than a negative thing. Let me read Linda's question to get more clarity on what we're talking about. I've hit a speed bump with my business. Will some money come through in time to help me get to the end goal? Feeling a bit unraveled at the moment. I really think this is kind of the vibe I'm feeling of the day, is to be okay with not being okay on some days, even though our aim of the game is actually to ultimately feel happy and joyful and have fulfillment. I think when we beat ourselves up or get frustrated when we have bad days or challenging times, we really do ourselves an injustice, and life is more hard just because of the way we're thinking about it. And the answer we're going to get for Linda today is, will she meet her current short-term goal financially? Does that suit you, Linda? Just let clearance room. Hello, Aaron. Hi, we've got Rick here, first time, and Michelle and Leah. So good, it's exciting, everyone's here. All right, so we are just going to pull a card for Linda to kickstart this. We're going to get a yes or no, Linda. If you've got any more deeper questions about that business, simply message in the chat box and we'll come to you towards the end of the session. My feeling is, not in the way that you think it will come together, just a missing piece of the puzzle, something you need to add to the equation, or maybe an extra person to get help. Person, something, thing, new idea to add into the equation. Maybe it means that you do a shorter version of the overall big picture, and then just so that you're not left out in the cold coming up to Christmas and things, and do the second part in the new year. That's what feels like the most ideal. Welcome, Anna. It's a nice little crowd coming in here now. Thanks for coming, guys. All right, if you do have any questions, Aaron, I have you down for a question specifically, even though you'd like a random card. I will ask your question next, Aaron. I have so many things going on at once, it's difficult to put clarity on just one thing. What advice does the tarot have for me? Aaron's question is branching out of an earlier conversation when I suggested that clarity is power. This is a topic last night in our cosmic consulting class, where when we have clarity, we have power, and when we have self-responsibility, we have self-empowerment. And those two things together are really a match made in heaven for happiness and success. So to ask Aaron pull Aaron a random card about what can be helpful for his calamity of events, you could say. Constant calamity of events with a big life challenge. I suggested some journaling just to get clear in the head. At least you can feel better during the process. Collaboration would be the key word for you. Is there a third party you can bring into the mix to assist you on this path to unravel some of the twists and turns so that you don't have to be alone in this situation? That's just the quick answer for you today. And nice to see you here, Claire. Please do feel free to ask a question in the comments. And we will now launch into Michelle's question. She was second up in line on the Zoom today. So Michelle asks, shall I go to New York for a wee mini break before Christmas to stay and catch up with friends? or is now not the right time to be traveling? Well, that's simply a yes or no question again, but if we get any deeper advice, we'll share that with you. Always try and ask a question that's probably got a little bit more of an open-ended question, because that way you're going to get more goodness from me. So there's a little sneaky trick when you're calling me up for the Tarot Q&A Tuesday. Michelle, it's a good idea for you to go to New York at this time. It's an interesting thing because I've already got a bit of a vibe on that. I feel you could go and you might go. However, there may be a bit of an illusion about the joy that it could bring. The ultimate feeling I have that in the new year would be a more fulfilling emotional time, fulfilling emotionally. And although I wouldn't be surprised if you decided just to go anyway. And that way, what I would suggest if you do go is to not to think negative about it, yet to just be careful of your expectations, would be a way to put it. It's a very busy time for other people as well, and perhaps that's why it doesn't feel as ideal. Whereas after Christmas, people are more in that chilled zone and they've got through the hustle and bustle, and it's a fresh new year and everyone's setting their vibe of new resolutions and it's a fresh start. And I feel the energy would be a nice way to start next year. Let's look at what's going on in the comments here. 2 options. Now this is Rick, isn't it? I can't see you properly and you've got a strange name coming up there on the Zoom. 2 options have arrived for me. 1, make a big move across the ditch, and the other being a relationship that has started here in New Zealand. Wowzers, it all comes at once, right? Both appeal. What do the cards have to say, please? Well, let's just say, even though I said answer open-ended questions, sometimes it's good just to get an overview of New Zealand or over the ditch. Okay. Is it correct action for you to travel or go live elsewhere, I should say? Is it correct action to go live elsewhere other than New Zealand at this time? A little bit of an irony there, isn't it? Do you know, is it possible that you can go and this relationship could potentially follow? Like, it doesn't feel that it's almost like you can have your cake and eat it too. And it's about time, right? You totally deserve that. What do you think? Let me know. Yeah, I think because I feel the passion is brewing. Things are igniting for you. So I'm just like, do what you feel is fair and balanced for your personal equilibrium. Like, you know, this is... And I feel that you will even open up the doors for your children by doing that. Maybe that's just visiting or traveling, or perhaps one of them wants to study over there as well. It's an interesting, it just feels like the instigation of some new passion. So that's pretty positive and exciting. I love it, I love it. How do you feel about that? What do you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down? I can only see your silhouette. Anywho, before you answer that, well, I will get on to the next person. Melissa couldn't be here tonight or last night and wants to know what her guides want her to know right now. Now, this is always interesting. When I work one-on-one with people, it's a little bit easier to allow all etheric helpers to be present. When we're reading like this, it's a bit more of a general what's going on in your subconscious mind. So of course you are welcome to have sessions with me to have that one-on-one time. I do them on Zoom as well if you're not in the Mount where I live. However, you can pick and choose what works for you. Let me just get into the vibe of this. Melissa, we'll just work out what you need to hear right now. What are we getting on an overall perspective? Just a little insight, a little spark of inspiration, you could say. Well, this is nice. I haven't showed you any cards yet, guys. I've neglected to show the cards. This is the Eight of Wands, a beautiful card that often means movement, things are growing. It's also an 8, which is around personal power and even growing abundance. It's an encouragement to keep going forward and that things are growing. In fact, I should have showed you the card. There's little leaves on the wands that are sprouting new ideas and new beginnings. So keep stepping forward. Don't allow yourself to get stuck and get in your head too much, and simply continue. It is moving. Things are moving. Please stay with a full heart and allow yourself, or encourage yourself, not to get disheartened. Okie doke. Claire, just letting you know, Fiona, I got the job. Yay! Awesome. I love that. We knew it. We knew it. So good. This was in the cards. Literally. Don't you love it where all those sayings come from? Now you go. 2 sides to every card and all of that jazz. This is what the tarot is about. You know, the tarot, especially the major arcana in the tarot, is in fact a journey through the hero's journey. Some people talk about, I think it's Joseph Campbell, he talks about the hero's journey. In fact, my personal opinion is that maybe it wasn't Joseph's original philosophy, perhaps it was the tarot, because it's actually the fool's journey in the tarot, where we start on this journey of self-discovery, the soul's journey. We're quite naive in the beginning of our life, and then we start planting seeds and casting out spells and ideas of what we want in the world. And then we have this journey that we talked about in the beginning of highs and lows and twists and turns as we grow into more of our big, full self through the epiphanies that we gain in the challenges. So yeah, the tarot has a lot of goodness that it's given to the world, but I don't think it gets the credit that it deserves sometimes. Now, while I've got you here, guys, it's probably really important for me to let you know other things I do. I mean, I blah on about this tarot, but I actually also work with energy psychology. That is the other half of my business. So when we see blocks in our tarot readings, we can see where we're not moving fast enough, or where we've sort of held ourselves back. I can use the energy psychology to actually help people to transform those limiting and sabotaging subconscious beliefs. And that means we change them into life-enhancing beliefs, more empowering beliefs, and it enables people to naturally be happier, find love if they've got blocks around that, make money if they've got limiting beliefs about that, and generally just live more fulfilled. So that's the other work that I do on the other half of Siren Soul, energy psychology such as Psych-K and the Conscious Creation Code. So there's a bit of info for you that I don't always let you know about. Now, who's next? Sally. Sally, what do I need to do right now to improve my health and energy levels? Let's see. These are good suggestions for all of us, really, isn't it? Like it's always a good idea to add little extra routines or rituals into our days to help us feel better well-being. So what is this, Sally? Sally, are you ready to Sally? Sally, what do you need to hear? What's the health issue? What I've got here is the Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups, in answer to the question, I often look at this little child that's hiding in the picture here within the chair. It's almost like an embroidered, embossed, engraved would be the correct term, a piece of her throne. Now, that actually represents the inner child, which can also be another word for, well, another way of looking at our shadow side or subconscious mind. These are the things that cause us to react from old traumas in our current daily life. Now, this woman is very emotional. She's not necessarily in a bad way. She's very loving. She's the Queen of Love. And it's important to honor her emotions in a way that that you can use your sensitivity as your superpower, not as your distract. When we feel too sensitive for everything, it's an out of balance feminine energy. And when we can use our sensitivity for things like intuition, compassion, being nurturing to ourselves and others, taking time for ourselves, being self-loving, then we ultimately are the best person for not only ourselves, but everyone around us. So therefore, my suggestion is self-love, inner child work, and being with your emotions. And because when we are emotional, it's very draining, isn't it? You know, if you have a fight with somebody you care about, it is exhausting. And this feels to me there's some unprocessed emotions that have been lurking in the recent weeks. And I feel that it's time just to take some personal time out to be with yourself and to like either rest or read or contemplate or meditate or dance by yourself or do Kundalini yoga or go for a beach walk. Whatever it is that just allows you to be in the stillness with yourself so that you can rest the emotions. I know it sounds weird, but if you all think about it, when we try and carry on and we're feeling emotional, it is exhausting, isn't it? It's bloody exhausting. Okay, we have a new person here. Ayla, great to have you here. You slipped in at the last second. I didn't think you'd make it. Fantastic. Hi, thank you for letting me join. Well, there you go. My pleasure. I have a question for you, please. You are welcome. I have a lot of change in the past few years and my skin has become really bad. Do you know how to fix this? Am I on the right track? A lot of change. Is this the right track? Skin. Let me tune in. Allow me. Give me some time, guys. And if you are watching the replay on YouTube, could you please give me a yellow heart in the comments so I know that you saw us? Or maybe you could give me a thumbs up. Always like a like. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, Ayla. Is it Ayla? I hope I've got that right. Okay, Ayla. Could we save an appropriate reading for Ayla? We use these cards ready to go. Okay, fantastic. We're going to go with this pack. And we need to hear about the skin. Skin's really interesting because it's very much around how we feel about ourselves. And it's very much around that how it's kind of like the exterior that everyone sees. So it is a real metaphysical reflection of how we're feeling inside. I mean, in fact, I'll be honest, I just said to Leah just before this, I said, my skin's been crazy. It's been such a stressful couple of weeks compared to my usual weeks. And not that you need to know about my personal details, but just letting you know that it is a thing that happens, right? When we're stressed, our skin is not glowing. When we're in love, we're like totally glowing. And okay, so the message here is to it is a bit of an emotional thing, so I'm going to try and get you a physical answer as well. But what it says is an element of letting go is surrender. So if this is, I think if there has been stress or a lot of worry and overthinking, then it's time just to let that shit go and then to start to celebrate the little things in life. So sometimes the big things don't come along fast enough, and if we don't celebrate the little things, then there's never any celebration, and we're just always waiting for the big things before we can finally get excited. So that's the emotional side. Let's give you a physical action plan that can help with the skin, and then we're going to see whether you're on purpose with your soul's best journey at this time. Ayla. Physical. We just need an action step, please. We want an action step. What's the action step? Okay, moving. Have you been thinking about moving? Or moving away from a relationship? Is it a moving or a moving away from a relationship? One or the other. You can turn your mute off if you like. You don't have to. Just
Probably moving from a relationship, but also living situation.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Something where you are is not. I was expecting them to say something like take some vitamin C or E or oils, but no, we're getting more physical action. So yeah, there does seem to be a need to let go of something that could be a relationship or definitely a move. So it's either a move or a move out of a relationship. So is that helpful? I mean, let me just see. Vitamin inside, outside, diet. And just want to check one other thing for you. And gut health. If you want, we want some actual physical things you can do that really do help the inside out. It's there's an imbalance in the gut. So of bacteria, I'd assume. I don't think it's like a nasty gremlin, like a bug. It feels more like, you know, not like something you catch when you go overseas, but more of a imbalance of the good and bad bacteria. Go with what we get. We go with what we get. Let's talk to Anna. Anna, should I close the door on an off again, on again relationship? More off than on recently, or just keep being patient? Further to my reading, which was with me earlier this month, which was so helpful. Oh, thanks. Thank you. A little bit of a plug there for me. Okay. Do you continue? Anna, let's get into Anna. Safe and appropriate to read for Anna. Okay, we can use these. All right, we use this. Okay, to stay or to go, do you just hang around, be available? Have you had progress? Have you had progress? There doesn't seem to be much progress since our talk, right? Okay, yeah, I would say that it's probably time to just step aside and use that time for a little bit of soul seeking, a little bit of go into your hermit shell to continue your inner healing. Whoa, today is so all about inner healing, isn't it? It's really about sort of what's going on in the emotional state and how it affects our physical health and our practical life. So I do feel it is just a bit too stressful and all on your shoulders to make happen at this time. So I wouldn't say no forever. I'd just step aside and say, I'm going to leave you to it. If I'm just going to leave you to it for the moment. No hard feelings. If you really want to, you don't have to say too much at all. Just say, I know you're really busy, whatever. And I get that. That's your situation. It probably doesn't really work for mine right now. So happy days. Like super polite, not really closing the door, but just saying, I'm probably worth a little bit more attention. So I'm just going to look in other directions. And even though that could mean looking at other dating opportunities, I feel it's looking within just until the new year. Just take the holidays and the Christmas time to really do some special things for you, try some new things such as, different things like a new style of yoga or a new restaurant or a new walk that you could take around a new rose garden or something that is just have some new stuff that's there to feed your soul. That's my suggestion. Okie doke. Let's see what we're doing here. Jessica, we've got to get to Jessica. She couldn't make it tonight. She's off to Pilates. Okay. Jessica, what does Jessica want to know? I've been stuck in a bit of a rut. See, there's this theme going on all over the show. Everyone's a bit twirly-whirly and stressed out. Not knowing what is next for me. Is there an area of my life I should consider making a change in? Well, I'm just going to go, is there an area of your life? Is there an area of your life? Let's ask a couple of quick, get to the root of the question. Is it time to make some change? Is it time to make change? This is for Jessica. So we get a maybe card. Helpful, not. This is the Hanged Man. This is all about seeing a life from a new perspective and contemplating and becoming more enlightened and being peaceful and really taking time to meditate. That's not what she wanted to know. She said maybe, so we're just going to go, the answer was maybe. Maybe you should. So we will just get a bit more of an accurate idea about what aspect of life that could be if it was to be a yes. Okay, we just need to get one or two cards for this, please, so we can understand. She's going to hate this more. Okay, I want to get another card. I'll say mental health, just because I got this dude, which he tends to accidentally focus on what he doesn't want to not what is already going great. So if you look closely in this card, you can see that there's 2 cups standing up behind him and there's 3 falling down in front of him. So all he's looking at is what's not going right and not focusing on what is actually also there. So appreciation, fastest way to raise your vibration, fastest way to get happy when you're feeling crap. But this was actually the first card I chose for Jessica, which is a number 8. Once again, we talk about inner strength, personal power, building abundance, really coming into your absolute core strength as a human, knowing you're worth it. But it's really about doing this through the feminine energy. So it's not like, right, what should I be doing? Stop the doing and start the being. In the feminine, start the being of the compassion. I know you do this a bit, but this message is coming up again and again. And it is that taming the inner beast. As you've seen the picture, it's a woman caressing a lion. The lion is representing the subconscious mind. And that is the inner beast, that is the inner child, that is the dark side, that is the shadow work. All of this is similar, a little bit different from one to the other, but similar work on our personal growth, on our self-improvement. And I know, I feel in my loins that Jessica wants like is it work, is it money, is it fitness, is it health, is it friends, is it man, is it this? And so I'm just going to go and get her a little bit more clarity so that she has a balance of working in the feminine as well as being able to take a masculine action step forward, because that might just ease her ego. When I say ego, I don't mean ego as in peacock. I mean our human self as opposed to our higher self or our habitual self. So feels very similar actually to Anna's, which is, look, it's nearly the end of the year. Just allow the fresh start to naturally unfold when the new year rises. It'll be fresh energy. And for you, I feel it'll be even more fresh energy after the Chinese New Year, where you will find yourself feeling more comfortable in your own skin, really a bit more financially abundant, just feeling a sense of banging on about this empowerment, but these are the key words that are riding through. You've got to find your edge and be in it as a confident, independent woman, the wonderful person that you already are. Just remember that you are that person. So you do nothing. You just allow is a feminine trait. Allow yourself to receive what is before you and stop trying. Stop trying so hard. Oh, I don't mean to sound like a big grizzly growling, but I do believe in you, Jessica, so you are completely on the right path. Now, Leah. See you, Aaron. Should I get a professional help with my business computer or set it up tackling it myself? Should you get professional help with your computer stuff? I don't know what in computer stuff you need, but professional help? I think you can handle the jandle yourself. Maybe just get some friends around for a glass of wine and help each other to learn what you don't already know and have a bit of fun with it. No, you've got enough brains yourself. You don't need that. All right. Okie doke. I think we are going to, I don't know how, wrap it up. What's the time? Oh, I'm actually early today. I think I've done everyone's. Does anyone want to chit chat, turn their mute off and allow us to have a bit of a chat? We've probably got a few minutes to dig deeper into anybody's questions if you'd like. No? Oh, collective consciousness card. I haven't done the group reading yet. Rightio, let's go. I'll just spray some of the Saint Germain that I'm running out of now because I've been overdoing. Oh, and I should say, you only need one spray per auditorium. So I go crazy with it, transforming energy left, right, and center. So do not copy or repeat or try this at home. Use one spray if you're playing around with the Aurosoma colour therapy. It's so beautiful, it smells divine. Okay, this would be the message we need today for everybody that's watching that hasn't turned up but managed to watch the entire replay. Well, that would be amazing in itself, wouldn't it? Give me a yellow heart. Ready to... The month, the week. It's only for the week. It's only for the week. It's a message for the week. Oops, is that relevant? Okay, we take the cards that have fallen out. Do we need all of these cards? No, 2 cards. 2 cards. Ooh. Well, what extreme cards we have here today. The Devil and the Ace of Cups. Like, the Devil is like the ego and it's the materialism, and the Ace of Cups is about new love, self-love, filling your own cup up. So I really feel we've got this massive message today in everybody's reading, which is to step out of the material zone and into the healing of your emotions. Fill your own cup up first on a very nurturing self-love level, and just let go of some of the conditioning that we ride on, that our ego rides on. Very much, if it, like, it's been a very, I don't know what you guys, tell me if you felt it too. It's just been a very intense, crazy energy over the last 4 weeks. That's probably the most crazy 4 weeks of the year in my personal opinion. And I see it with clients as well, you see. So that's why I think it's not just me. And this is always a time that we can accidentally start to fight to make it better, rather than relax and retreat. And my feeling is, coming up to the end of the year, it obviously normally is really busy, but this is a time that you could consciously plant more time in to be with yourself. Give yourself the time and the space and the nurturing and just the nice little treats, not like flash treats, simply I've got this feeling of tranquility and that kind of activity, that just yin yoga, sitting on the beach, not even walking, just staring at the water and watching the ships afar. Or that's the encouragement for this week, is to step out of the addictions to our material life. So if we maybe even stop alcohol for a week, something that brings about some harmony, calms the central nervous system, calms the stress down, and then allows it to naturally glow, allows ourselves to naturally glow from the inside out. So that is the collective consciousness message for the day. A little peace and harmony for your insides, dropping the busy world and reaping the feelings of peace and tranquility within our insides. If you could even do something like a guided meditation. What other ideas? Does anyone have any ideas that could actually be helpful for other people, that feel like peace and tranquility to you? Pop it in the chat. We could share other ideas. Personally, what I would probably do is, I want to get back into my Kundalini yoga that I haven't been doing for about 6 or 7 weeks, and I think it's starting to show. It's an amazing, I'm only a beginner, I gotta be honest, but just doing it for a few months, it was transformational. I feel like it actually makes me naturally more loving and compassionate and calm, and suddenly you just want to give your love and compassion to everybody in the world. So try it out. I follow this guy called Jai, I don't know how to say his name, Jaidev. Anyway, a bit of personal information for you. Right, we've got to our time frame. Oh, remember your childhood passions. If they still resonate, pick them up. Great advice, Rick. Great advice. That's also a way that you can remember or discover passions that you've left behind that are important for your soul's purpose, that could, in fact, ignite an entire new opening in your career or personal life. I love it. Remember your childhood passions. If they still resonate, pick them up again. Boom. Leah. She says, I think I'm past gymnastics, Rick. I thought you said it's that you're into gymnastics, Leah. Could have been a bit of a wink wink. Shit, man. Could have hooked you guys up a bit before. Now everyone's getting taken. What was I thinking? Sorry guys, I gotta go. I'm being naughty. I gotta get off. Lots of love, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully all of you. It's so good to have you all here.